beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of the Nollywood Show, only on Afia TV, where Nollywood is not just discussed, it's debated, it's watched, it's played with. Think of it as the fun Nollywood chaos you didn't know you needed. My name is Chinalurumogu Eze, your favorite Nollywood screen queen, and I have a couple of highlights coming your way, but after the break, we'll get into that. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Nollywood Show. My name is Chinalurumogu Eze, your favorite Nollywood screen queen. And on industry highlights we have for you today, it is important to know that Omowunmi has released the official cast who will be playing the expected characters for Lola Shoneyin's book titled Secret Lives of Baba Segi's Wives. But the interesting thing is that fans are not happy with the casting. But let's go into some of the roles and who would be playing them. So interestingly, Odunlade Adekola is playing Baba Segi. In the same vein, Iyabo Ojo is playing Iya Segi. Aigbe would be playing Iya Tope. Bimbo Ademoye would be playing Iya Femi. And Omowunmi Dada would be playing Bolanle. These are the lead roles in the movie. Now, what are fans saying about this? Someone says, Iya Segi was described as a fat woman. In the book, she was described as a woman who used her imposing physical presence and sharp tongue to dominate the other wives. Why is Iyabo Ojo acting that character? Who knows, right? Someone else said, when will movie producers ever get it right with the casting of movie adaptation of books? Why is Odunlade Adekola playing Baba Segi? And why is Iyabo Ojo playing Mama Segi? They both don't fit the descriptions of the characters in the book. What do you think about this? It's a lot when it comes to adaptation of books into movies. Speaking of book adaptations, the latest is that Tomi Adeyemi, who is the writer of Children of Blood and Bone, has made an announcement that she would not be watching her movie. And it came with such shock because we saw BTS shoots of the film production. She talked about it. She said she would be there. She actually co-wrote the script with the person involved, but she made an update on July 4th that she would not be part of the production. What this means is that something definitely played off. And I'd like to take you a trip down memory lane on what happened with Amandla Stenberg. Amandla Stenberg is a light-skinned actress, and she was going to take the role of an integral character in the movie. So fans were not happy. They were like, in the movie, that character was trying to depict colorism. So why is someone as light-skinned as Amandla Stenberg playing that role in the movie? We also saw screenshots from Tomi Adeyemi on TikTok where she told Amandla Stenberg, do not message me, do not talk to me, do not do anything. And that was part of where she said she would not be watching her movie. And this goes to say that a lot happens with creative control when the writer writes the movie and takes it in for a movie, writes the book and takes it for a movie adaptation. They want it to be depicted exactly the way they want. But let's not forget that the owner of the film is the person bringing the money. So it's what the person wants that happens. So a lot of times writers bring in their, their emotions to it and want the movie to be exactly the way they want it. But I don't know, would you be watching this movie in 2027 when it will be out? Because the writer says she would not be doing so, and would you? As for me and my household, well, we shall see about that. Finally, we have a Nigerian film that is set to break a Guinness World Record for the highest number of individuals watching a film at a single setting. And the Nigerian movie is called Black Market. So the Black Market is directed by Fatima Binta Gimsey, and it features Omowunmi Dada, Uzoarukwe, Scarlett Gomez, Teniola Aladese, and a whole lot of people. So the producers are targeting 50,000 attendees at a special screening scheduled for September 26th at Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. If successful, The event will surpass the current record of approximately 43,000 people, making it one of the largest film screenings in history. One of the things exciting fans about this is that I think the producers are also trying to show that producers can go back to traditional film screenings. They can pull off that amount of people to watch a film and place Nollywood on the global map. It doesn't mean that we've not always been on the global map, but it's another avenue to do that. But if you ask me, definitely the profit margin may not be much, because by the time they will give about 5,000 persons free tickets, because think about it, Guinness World Record people will be there, influencers who would promote the film and get free tickets would be there, some actors and actresses would get tickets for free. At the end of the day, about 5,000, 3,000 slots will be filled for free. But maybe it's not just about the money. Maybe it's something bigger for them, and I'm really wishing them well. It's about time Nollywood industry gets a Guinness World Record. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll start the conversation for today. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Nollywood Show. My name is Chinalurumogu Eze, your favorite Nollywood screen queen, and we're here to talk Nollywood. What if I told you that most of the things you thought you knew about Igbo people were not from personal experiences, but they were shaped by Nollywood? For decades, Nollywood shaped our imagination, our thoughts, our conversations, our prejudices, our perception. And today on the Nollywood Show, we are diving in to explore how Nollywood shaped Igbo people. And to join me on that conversation is someone I personally respect so much, and someone who has been a big regulator of what happens in Nollywood. He is not just the CEO of Afia TV, he was a one-time Director General for the National Film and Video Censors Board, was also the head of local content for MultiChoice. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers all over the world, join me and introduce my boss, Chief Emeka Mba. Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
I'm a fan. I'm such a fan of yours. I'm so excited to have you here.
Have you seen my latest movie?
Yeah, I have. Well, by the way, welcome to the show, Mr. Emeka Mba.
It's good to be here. Yeah.
Thank you. It's very important that we have this conversation because for years and even till now, you see people tell us that Igbo people are ritualists, right? And when we go back to Blood Money, a movie released in 1997, and in 1992 we had this film by Kenneth, Living in Bondage, and then we had the remake or sequel in 2019, and it gives people the idea, and a whole lot of other movies gives people the idea that Igbo people are ritualists. And the question now is, are we really ritualists? Because there's something about generalization. If a huge chunk of a population does that thing, I think it's safe to generalize. But is that our reality?
Absolutely not. I can pretty much, be sure that you don't know any ritualist, so to speak. I don't either. But yeah, look, when Nollywood really took off in the early 90s, there was this kind of energy around telling the kinds of stories that will get, outlandish stories that will get people
talking traction.
It's almost like the way the things that people do on social media these days, they post all kinds of stuff just to garner attention. Clickbait. So to a large extent, that was our reality then, was what kind of stories, the stories you hear in the legends, urban legends you hear in the marketplaces, in the town halls, on the streets, and quickly people, go write a thing about it, and then it will be produced and it will be distributed. No one really cared much around the impact of, what those stories were doing. It was the number one thing was to sell the tapes, the VHS tapes at that point, and that was really so it was more of a commercial decision to tell those kind of stories, because those kind of stories were the stories that move the needle, move the market. So I think that's why. But the reality is that obviously stories shape perception. And to a large majority of our audiences are not fundamentally media literate.
Okay.
So, and because we're seeing ourselves on screen in such a new format, in a new way, other than television, we're seeing ourselves, and it's not television drama. These are movies, you know, and they were plentiful. So it gave rise to that notion, to this new narrative or stereotyping, as you want to say. You know, and it was not just the same thing. I mean, in my role as head of content for MultiChoice, I traveled to pretty much most of Southern Africa, and you find that, you know, I've talked about being in a hotel where everybody's just left me and all the staff in the hotel are watching Nollywood movies. That's the impact that we had. But it also made it like, look, if you and I watch Harry Potter with all the
magic and
the things, we can forgive it. We say,
Yeah,
oh, okay, that's Igbo,
fun.
that's you know, but when you and I watch KOK in those days, we're like, you know, be careful,
Evil
you know.
man, blood money.
So how we saw things was because a new narrative, a new cinema was emerging, which is Nollywood, which is close to life in the sense that it is us.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of the filmmakers did not know how to tell the stories in a way that will make you suspend your disbelief. You know, so they actually were doing the movies in a way to not only that they couldn't make you suspend your disbelief, a lot of them were actually pushing, you know, for you to believe what they were showing on screen, which was not true, you know, the magic and all the things, you know. I wish it were true. I mean, we can change the course of many things.
And it's not just the ritual, Igbo people are ritualists or something like that. It's also the fact that a lot of the movies then positioned Lagos as the place you go to and you will be successful. And I think it's also, we're living that same reality because right now there's been some sort of brain drain where people know that they have to leave the East and go to Lagos to make it in life.
Now, this one is a little bit more nuanced in the sense that, yes, you know, part of my expression, old Nollywood tended to you know, the stories where, you know, a young man in the village, if he wanted to make it in life,
he had to go to the
uncle,
city.
somebody, you know, or he goes to see somebody in the city, or somebody comes home and takes him, and then he prospers. So we did a lot of those stories. A lot of them were, you know, it was actually became like a subgenre, you know, village life and then city life. But the reality also is that, in a way, you know, life sort of imitates art and vice versa. Because Lagos is still fundamentally the commercial capital of Nigeria.
It is.
It's got the, you know, the only seaport, well, I won't say the only seaport, but the seaport where a lot of
largely
the commercial, So every trader, you know, and of course we Igbos were very itinerant, we traveled a lot, business-minded. So everyone, you know, sort of in real life, and this is our life, we'll have to go to Lagos to do trade, to do business and all kinds of things. And that sort of, that life that we live, that commercial itinerant life, tended to support the kinds of stories we did in the old days, in the old Nollywood. So there was, but that's not, you know, again, like any, you know, late Hitchcock would say that every film is like a slice of, it's like a cake. You put a knife to it, it's a slice of life. That it depends on, sometimes you get the chocolate bit, sometimes you get the, you know, you get the sugary bit, you get the icing on the cake, sometimes you know, you cut through it. And so whatever you see at whatever level, but that's, you know, Onitsha has been a thriving market for decades, it still is.
It is,
No one is talking about leaving the, you know, village to go to Onitsha. I suspect maybe there were some movies that did that. But Lagos had that preponderance of you know, it was animation to everyone. You know, it had the skyscrapers, it had the busy roads, it had Lagos became a character in the movies that we told, in the movies that we saw. But and you're right, it built up that image, and a lot of people now consciously believe, especially young people these days, that if I'm going to make it in life, I've got to leave
the East and go to Lagos.
I've got to leave the East and go to Lagos. You know, and especially if you're in the creative or tech industry, you know, that's where a lot of the things happen. But it also means that, you know, a lot of responsibility has to rest on people who are managing the East to do something different, to keep the attraction local and to keep the talent here.
And it feels like we do not have so many stories to tell, but we do. Afamefuna had such strong engagement because it told the story of a very strong culture in the Igbo society. That is Nwa Boy's story. That's that system. And we accepted it. Like, this is what we want to see. So why do you think we are not really, I mean, you mentioned that we want traction and all, but seeing the success of Afamefuna, you know, we really have a lot to tell beyond ritual killings and making Lagos the beacon of excellence and all that. So why do you think we're not trying to do more stories that highlight the core of who we are?
Again, see, so everyone, you know, when Nollywood started, was really, really targeting the market, the money, the commercial success, which, you know, without it, there will be no Nollywood. So if there was no commercial success, there will be no stars. There won't be the things we see today, which would just be like any other, you know, West African or African country doing cinema with no audiences. So we created our own audiences and stars. But I think, to answer your question, is the fact that the old marketers or distributors, we call them marketers those days, we're really looking for the lowest common denominator kind of stories. You know, the stories that will travel further, you know, and there's this still a cultural challenge we have in Igbo land where, you know, a lot of people will say, look, Igbo, it's not elegant language, you know, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we see people say stuff like that.
You have to say it in English, you know, that kind of thing. So we also have that cultural, or rather that barrier in the or that challenge in the sense that we wanted to tell stories that was focused on in English, and so that everybody could watch and buy the movie, rather than, you know, focusing on Igbo stories. I mean, if you look at whether it be, you know, my big brother and Kemo's kind of movies, all the movies he did, even the ones that he were done in English with Sam Loco and those guys, it was actually Igbo stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Set in the rural areas. In the city, But they were done in English.
Yes.
Because for the marketers, they didn't want language to be a barrier. They wanted the films to travel. Yes, they wanted it to travel everywhere in the globe, and they felt that, look, English, broken English or whatever, will travel further. And to be honest, they were probably right. They were right to an extent, but in succeeding in doing that, they also failed within the point you're raising now, in telling the stories within our local language. Our brothers in Western Nigeria are doing a fantastic job in having, you know,
God,
movies after movie, Kula Falayo, people like that are just, you know, heavy on Yoruba language and culture. Yes. And we have the stories, you know.
Do you also think it's a funding thing? I watched a movie, I watched an interview with Jide Kene, last night, He has a new movie called Iyaloja, a Yoruba movie, and the lady asked him something related to this, and he said, when you look at it, you see that the Yoruba people it's like they have more money to invest.
It's not that they have, yes, every region has money, but they have the willingness to invest in culture is higher.
Yeah.
In
the western part of Nigeria.
The western part of Nigeria. The willingness to invest is just, you go to whether you're an artist, a painter, designer, the Yoruba culture it celebrates life, celebrates art.
Yes.
They're very celebratory people. So when you come with a story that celebrates the culture, you will find there's a rush to put money on it because they want to see themselves. We, on the other hand, we're very hesitant.
Yeah.
Start looking at it.
Oh my God.
Start looking at it from a commodity,
crazy
mercantile commodity point of view, and that's why there's less investment in the media as a rule. There's hardly any newspapers here. There's hardly,
media
Afia
houses.
TV.
Look at what you're doing with Afia.
We're just like 3, Voice of the East and Signature TV.
Signature TV.
Just even the state-owned TV platforms are not well funded. Not talk about
independent ones.
Independent ones. So there's a challenge. I mean, you can look at it from. We're talking about culture. We're talking about tourism. And the biggest driver of culture and tourism are films.
Yes.
And there's no doubt about it. I mean, I've shared stories of, when I was head of content for Multichoice traveling, and people, my colleagues, my Southern African colleagues then, domestic staff will always say, "Oh, the Muti movie man," because Muti means black magic or juju
okay.
in Zulu, and so. We will, and I think of whipping out the white handkerchief.
Okay.
And I used to always tease them. I would bring out a white handkerchief like I'm about to do something. But yeah, so we need the investment. Our people with a ton of money need to understand that the biggest way we can advance our culture, improve on the storytelling about the narrative about who we are, is through movies. And it's through storytelling. I mean, look at what Alex Onya did with the kids.
Shout out to Alex Onya. He's doing amazing. And we need that sort of energy and that sort of embellishment with our creative industry, starting from Nollywood. So finally, before we go into something else, if you would make a movie today, what narrative what kind of movie, what kind of story would you want to tell? That's what I'd like to know.
I'm not... I wouldn't consider myself a commercial filmmaker. I'm more of a documentarist, I'm pursuing documentaries and things like that. But obviously, I would love to see movies, more feature films, drama done. But if I had my way and had all the money in the world, I'd probably lean towards more like an art house kind of movie. But I would do it in a way that I believe will promote
Igbo culture.
Yes.
The kind of what C.J. Obasi did with Mami Water.
Oh, C.J. Obasi is a brilliant storyteller. Yeah. I don't even just see him as a filmmaker. I just see him as a storyteller because he's just fantastic. And something like that. Yeah. And there's so many legends in our cosmology, that we can explore. There's this young girl that used to work for us here at Afia TV Wealth.
Okay.
She's not native Igbo, but she lived in the East, and she used to, fascinate me with stories around the Igbo gods, the pantheon of the Igbo gods. Amadioha,
the mythology,
wow. Getting married to Allah.
Oh, okay.
And when they had kids and things like that. That's kind of storytelling is really something that I will, probably...
Just like what I said in the highlight about Tomi Adeyemi's Yoruba mythology, Children of Blood and Bone. I would kill to have something like that with Igbo culture, Amadioha, stuff like that.
There's a lady, I think she's a professor, Nnedi Okorafo. I follow her on Twitter.
Okay.
And she writes Afro-futuristic she'll kill me if she sees this because she has a way she describes her books.
Oh, okay.
But she is such a fantastic, and she, just imagine the future. Imagine black people, black consciousness, black gods and kings and the future, but seeing it through the lens of a black person.
That's
Afrofuturism, I think.
Okay,
that's
I see. That's shout out to her if you're seeing this. We would really want to see your work come to life. And thank you so much, Mr. Emeka Mba. You've really answered a question that has really been burning in the minds of many people, including me, for the longest time. And to you, our viewers who have listened to us up until now, I hope you are doing something about elevating the Igbo culture and ensuring that it does not die in your own time. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll go on to the next segment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Nollywood Show. My name is Chinalurumogu Eze, your favorite Nollywood screen queen. And to wrap up today's episode of the Nollywood Show, we're going to do something really fun with our guest, Chief Emeka Mba. So typically I would have done a Nollywood trivia, drill you on some of your favorite Nollywood movies. But I said, no, you'll come back again and I'll do that. Just prepare your mind.
Next time.
So let's do a this or that Nollywood edition. So how it works, I give you a name and another name. You choose one person. When you choose that person, I add another name to it. You choose one between the two. Yes. So are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Genevieve Nnaji or Omotola Jalade Ekende?
Genevieve.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Why are you laughing?
Okay, I don't know why I'm laughing. Genevieve Nnaji or Funke Akindele?
Genevieve.
Okay. Genevieve Nnaji or Bimbo Ademoye?
Genevieve.
What's going on here? Okay. Genevieve Nnaji or Patience Ozokwo?
Genevieve.
Genevieve Nnaji or Ireti Doyle?
Genevieve.
Genevieve Nnaji or Shafi Bello?
Genevieve.
Genevieve Nnaji or Rachel Okonkwo?
Genevieve.
Genevieve Nnaji or Adeshua Etomi?
Genevieve.
What is going on? Okay, I still got time. You were going to change your mind, I believe you will. Genevieve Nnaji or Tinamba? Okay, I got you. I see. Genevieve. Oh my God.
It's a hard one there.
Wow.
Tina is my person, but
okay.
Tina, please. You wear when I
Please, you should wear you. Okay, Genevieve Nnaji or Hilda Dokubo?
Genevieve.
Genevieve Nnaji or Eukarya Anunobi? Think about it. A woman of God.
Genevieve.
You know what? I'll start comparing it with young people and see where we are here. Genevieve Nnaji or Mercy Johnson?
Oh, come on. Genevieve.
Genevieve Nnaji or Regina Daniels?
Who is that? Genevieve.
Please make sure you cut off this one.
No, I don't know. Who is she?
Okay, she's an actress.
Oh,
yeah. She married.
Yeah. Okay. No. Genevieve still. Yeah. Please. Yeah. Okay.
I think we'll have a lot of content from this episode. Okay. Finally. Okay. Genevieve Nnaji or Nse Ibe acting?
Genevieve.
I love Nse so much. She's a fantastic actress.
I love her too. She's just fantastic. But I don't think Genevieve is on a level.
Finally. Genevieve Nnaji or Kate Hanshaw?
Kate will forgive me. Genevieve.
Guys, we've come to the end. Apparently, my boss is a huge fan of Genevieve Nnaji.
You know.
Wow. Genevieve, we have a huge fan here. Whenever you come back to Enugu, make sure to bring something for us because, I love her. I love her so much. Lionheart is one of my best. Last week, I graded Nollywood movies into top 10. Lionheart was number 5. It was a masterpiece. I loved it so much. It still is. Thank you so much, Chief Emeka, for loving Genevieve, for giving your 2 cents on today's conversation. And to our beautiful people, if you have 1 or 2 things to say about the industry or how we can also elevate Igbo culture, feel free to message me on Instagram at Nalu_Kings or on Afia TV at Afia TV Official on Instagram. My name is Chinalurumogu Eze, your favorite Nollywood screen queen, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.